Most listing agents, or should I say real estate agents, they fail for one very simple reason, and that is one of identity. They don't fail because they lack a strategy. They fail because they don't become the person that they need to be a listing agent. In short order, they're never a listing agent. Some agents think that they're listing agents, but they are not listing agents. They think that, for instance, that they have to, they're really worried about the how to do things. How do you get things done? And if you put a strategy right in front of them, I know this from personal experience, from all the people that I've coached with my listing collective. If you put a strategy right in front of them and say, this is what you need to do, A, B, C, D, E, they won't do it. That is why they're never going to be listing agents. See, real listing agents have the identity of a listing agent, and they have to have that identity shift. What is that identity shift? It's putting the work in to become a listing agent, to fill up your listing pipeline constantly, consistently, every single day. I remember I was working with this one agent in, oh my God, should I even mention the state? Washington State. I was working with this one agent, and they literally, and I'm not exaggerating, took 5 weeks to find the perfect CRM. So they were concentrating on the how, and they knew darn well, based on our coaching calls, what they needed to do, but they just wouldn't do it. And they used this trying to find the perfect CRM as a reason for not doing the work that they needed to do. I mean, really, if you're just dabbling, and that's what a lot of agents do, they just sort of dabble. They just wait for things to sort of fall in their lap. They wait for people to call them. Being a listing agent means doing the things that you know you have to do every single day, but you may not feel like it. You may not be in the mood, but you do them anyways. And that is what I see as the common denominator for successful people in general, but specifically for listing agents they delay gratification, so they really wait to take advantage of their success. But most importantly, they do the things they have to do every single day, even if they don't feel like doing it. And this is a huge identity shift. I think about identity shift as something like you have to be that person. Metaphysically speaking, to attract success into your life, you have to act like that successful person. Well, this is just taking it a step further, where you actually have to act like that person, and then you have to ask yourself, ask me, ask somebody, what does a successful person have to do to make that happen? And yes, this is what you have to do. I mean, you have to every day put the work in, use the micro momentum marketing approach. It's an amazing approach to take baby steps to doing the micro strategies that you need to do every single day to fill up your listing pipeline. I remember I was working with Tyler in California. I was working with Tyler in California, and he was just doing a lot of busy work. He was the epitome of somebody who's been in the business. He was a buyer's agent for 2-3 years. He really wanted to get into the listing business, and he just basically identified as a listing agent like that. We went through some really super fast strategies on how he could get listings now, like really fast. And he just took to it like you wouldn't believe it. He really embodied that persona of a successful listing agent. And so he just started getting on the phone and doing all the things that we talked about it in the Listing Collective. And lo and behold, he got a listing over $10 million in 3 weeks of working with me. 3 weeks. Okay. Now, I applaud Tyler because he really was very aggressive in using all the procedures and the tools and the strategies that we have in the Listing Collective. But I can give you all of that right now for free. Every tool, every strategy, every script, everything that we have in the Listing Collective that guarantees your success. But if you don't see yourself as a listing agent, if you're not, more importantly, taking this serious like Tyler did and not spending 5 weeks or whatever it was to find the perfect CRM to avoid doing the work that you want to do, then you can do this. You can absolutely do this. This is not about motivation, guys. Motivation is not going to make you a successful listing agent. Motivation is not going to make you have a full listing pipeline. You first have to think in your head, okay, I'm going to do what it takes to become a top listing agent in my marketplace. I'm not saying you have to be number one. I'm not saying that you have to dominate, the market in your area. But at a minimum, just like the people in the Listing Collective, I want to see you do 2 to 4 listings consistently every single month. That's the most important thing that I really, at a minimum baseline, I want to see you do. But you have to adopt that identity of a listing agent that's going to put the work in and do the things that you've got to do to make that successful. 80-20 rule. 80% of the people that come into the Listing Collective are people that are really super serious like Tyler, and he really identifies as the top listing agent. He's achieved that consistently for years and years. But 20% fool me because they say they'll put the work in and then they don't do it. That's why when I get on the phone with people who are interested in joining the Listing Collective, I'm really looking to interview them to see, do they have the right mindset? Do they have the right beliefs? Do they have the right identity? You may not have all the strategies right now. You may not know exactly what to say to probate attorneys or to heirs. You may not know what to say to out-of-area investors. Heck, I have some of the top selling listing agents joining the Listing Collective. They don't even know what to say to their sphere of influence or how to build their sphere of influence. This is something that it doesn't matter. I could tell you, like I said, and give you all the tools. It doesn't matter. If you don't identify first as the top listing agent and you don't put the work in, then guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because if you have no listings, you're not a listing agent right now. You have to decide who you're going to be. Absolutely decide who you're going to be. Who are you ready to become? And not just learn about it, but actually do it. Actually put the work into it. So if you're one of those people that really thinks that they're serious and they're ready to become a top listing agent and you're ready to embody that, identify as that, I want to talk to you. Jump on a call with me at the minimum. Absolutely download my listing blueprint pipeline, my listing pipeline blueprint, listing pipeline blueprint, because it really gets into a lot of what you have to do to become a top listing agent. And it gives you a lot of the tools and it'll set you up for success. So make sure you get that listing blueprint, listing pipeline blueprint by hitting the link down below. Otherwise, book a call with me if you're serious, but dabblers need not apply.